Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for tuning into the Great Human Reconnect. As you know, I'm your host, Hayden Binney. Now, today we have an interesting guest. If you look at him online, you'll see him as someone that oozes confidence, oozes the self-belief in themselves. But Zach, I'd like to ask you, what pain did it take you to become this calm?
What pain did it take me to become this calm? A lot. I would say the most painful thing was a realization. The realization that I should be dead. So that's probably the most mind-blowing pain I can think of off the bat, is that I overdosed 8 times. And for years, I was under the belief and the illusion that I just had a little bit too much. But one day I sat down with a mentor and he goes, "You realize you committed suicide 8 times." And I was like, what? I should be dead. God literally woke me up 8 times, bro.
That is a lot to compact in the first 30 seconds.
That's dropping bombs for you, bro.
I mean, for me, for the audience, take us
Yeah.
back. What led
Okay.
you to those overdoses?
So it all stems from generational trauma. Growing up, my hero was an alcoholic. I couldn't wait to be at the table with the boys, like my dad, and drinking. And then when, I guess the shortest way to sum this all up is when he left when I was 13, I thought I'd be better than him. And I started dabbling in weed, and then eventually I found hard drugs like speed. Back then it was speed. And I felt so much clearer than I did drinking. So I was like, this is it. I can work. I can focus on what I need to do. I can just be the best, because you're just filled with so much confidence. I was like, watch me win. And then I was trying to support my family. So I started moving it. And then eventually the addiction just is too strong. You can't control it, bro. It controls you. And then I eventually because I was confused and I never dealt with the abandonment from my dad and him not being present. I drowned myself in substances to numb the reality of it. And I became so addicted to escaping reality that I didn't want to die, but I was still killing myself. It doesn't make much sense, but in that time, I was scared to die. I didn't want to die. I still wanted to live, but I didn't want to deal with the pain. And I went to every extent I could. And I was being the addict I am, I push things to the limits. I push it to the extreme, and I would encourage you to join me so I could have a buddy to do it with. There was no such thing as a weekend. It was all or nothing every day of the week. I was immune to everything. But obviously it'll kill you, you know?
Take us back, take us into the mind of an addict.
Okay.
The things that we find so obvious. What are the hard truths, for someone that's in the process of the addiction to actually realize that's causing them thing? What lies are you telling yourself while you're going through this process?
The lies I would tell myself is that I had control. I always told myself I could stop when I wanted to stop, and I looked $1,000,000, where in reality, bro, I was skin and bone. I was gaunt. I had bags. I looked like I'd been punched in both eyes. That's how much the black bags built up. And I was so underweight. I was so sick. And it's just all the illusion, bro. It's like false confidence. So you're not honest with anything or anyone. All you care about is numbing yourself and getting your next hit. It doesn't matter what it takes.
When did you realize that life was no longer for you? When did you realize that Zach had to die and this new version of you had to be brought to life?
Only a bit when I met Robin. So I went to rehab 6 years ago and I still wasn't ready. I put on 22 kilos in a few months. I was the best shape I've ever been. And I still thought I could switch drugs. I still wasn't ready to give up the party life. I felt like a bachelor all of a sudden because I became attractive, like actually attractive. And I thought with all this new confidence, I could control it again. But I don't think everything changed when I had a purpose. So from a young age, I wanted to be a dad because I wanted to give my kids the experience I never had. And when I met Robin, she basically gave me an ultimatum and she made me look at myself in the mirror. She was like, "You're so much better than this. You're worthy of so much more. Like you are wasting your potential." And she said, "This isn't what I want for my future." And I had to make a big decision. It's like, it was give up everything and start a new life and become who I'm really meant to be. And I made a decision for me that I'd wasted 17 years in addiction, lost, wasting everything. I'm very talented at what I do in everything I put my mind and energy on. And I was like, now's the time. Now's the time. And slowly but surely, everything after that unraveled. My purpose grew. It got bigger. My imagination got more advanced, you could say. And yeah, everything became more meaningful in its natural course.
Taking it back to obviously going to the rehab and everything like that, you said something on a old podcast you did that I was listening to that really stuck out to me. It was they loved you back to life.
Yeah. So in recovery, when you're really bad, so I would say it's happened both times, both my recoveries. The first time I was in rehab, they teach you how to live in the most gentle way. So because you don't love yourself and you don't know how to accept help because you've pushed everything away, everyone and everything. So they teach you literally how to eat, how to have a shower, the basics. And they teach you how to connect again sober, how to actually feel, and that it's okay to let it out, that you're only human and you're allowed to be sensitive, you're allowed to be emotional, and you're allowed to be vulnerable. So it's like the first place I learnt to trust. And it took me 3 months to be able to cry because I was so numb from the reality and my feelings and my emotions. I would sit down with my caseworker and I'd be like, oh, like we'd talk about my trauma and everything bad that's happened. And my body, like I said to you before, would reject the tears. It took me 3 months to learn how to finally release it. So it's just loving. And in this recovery, Robin's had the same gift as what I got from my caseworkers in rehab. She's got a gift of healing. She draws it out. She makes me sit down and she goes, feel it. It's okay. And she just holds me like a baby. And it's like, it takes me a few minutes because I'm like fighting the whole thing, bro. And I finally just, you know, but, bro, it's the most powerful thing you can do is cry.
So all that trauma, everything with father, everything wrong that's happened to you, are you still holding onto it, but holding onto it in a different way as sort of like fuel, or did you have to let everything go in order to rebuild yourself?
No. I live by a saying now that your pain is your power. So it's like turning your weakness into strength. And by turning your flaws into your perfections. So you look at everything the opposite way. So if something happened to you that was bad, that's character building. It's actually preparation to carry a more weight and more of a stress load, so that you can hold that weight, become your higher self, and then you can share that knowledge and help someone else get through what you've already been through. So your pain is purpose. And if used the right way and thought of the right way, it's powerful.
I'd like to get your thoughts on this quote I heard.
Mm,
I'm quite interested to hear what you have to say.
okay.
It was, the people that go around saying I'm sober for X amount of days is fundamentally stupid. That sentence still gives the power to the addiction, because if you were truly done, you wouldn't need to count the days and you would simply say, I'm sober. Counting the days is just really measuring how long you lasted this time.
I don't agree.
Don't agree?
For me, I started doing that online because it held me accountable.
Yep.
It wasn't necessarily the clean time itself. It's that I had to be, I did it online. So it didn't just, because I could lie to Robin, I could lie to my mum, I could lie to everyone, but I can't lie to the world.
100%.
I can't get online and preach recovery and preach effort when I'm lying to everyone, because that goes against me as a person. And I can't go against that. It was just a whole new extreme.
No, I can relate to that. It's like me
yeah.
posting the content. It's like putting a day number next to it just sort of like gets to a point where it's like, if you're 80 days in, like, do you really want to relapse? I'm like,
Nah.
I'm 80 days in. Like, all that work was for nothing.
Yeah. So the thing is too, that it's harder to go back than it ever was to start. Imagine going back to the beginning and starting over. It's easier to just fight the battle and keep pushing as the growth gets harder and harder than it would be to start again. So I live by that now.
You said something very, very interesting on the same podcast. It was people either live in a bearable stage or rock bottom.
Yeah. So the bearable stage is when you keep telling yourself you can keep going, when you don't think you're ready to give up and you don't think it's that bad. Where in reality, it's bad.
Yeah.
Everyone else knows it apart from you. And you keep holding on one day at a time. Now, the bearable stage can last years, which is, if you add it up, it's more painful than hitting rock bottom. Rock bottom is when you are at your worst and you're at your most pain and you just have lost all hope and you're finally ready to say, I can't do it on my own. And you stick your hand up and you ask for help. It's like the first time you let go of all the control, that you become powerless over everything. Yeah.
Like, because when I heard that, I was sitting on the beach at the time, and it was thinking of like that bearable stage. Like, it's it's the comfortability. It's like people would be so better off if their situation was a little bit worse. It's like, I've used the analogy. It's like, if your relationship was a little bit worse, then maybe you'd leave it. If your job was a little bit worse, then maybe you'd leave it. So many people, like, it's like that bearable stage. It's the comfort stage. It's not enough to make you change, just enough to sort of keep you in the same place. And I find the comfort zone is the biggest killer of dreams, hope, aspirations, everything.
Yeah. Do you want to know something on that topic? One of the closest people in my family, I'm not going to say who, but a mess right now. And in the weirdest way, I wish more pain on him.
Yeah.
You know, because I want him to get help quicker. And that's the reality.
Yeah.
If he keeps going on the way he's going, it could last a long time. And I'm over it. I'm just like, please, God, more pain. You know what I mean?
100%.
And then I'm like, and then he'll be back. But yeah, that's the reality of it. You need to hit rock bottom.
100%. You only make change once you hit rock bottom. That's the unfortunate part. Like, unfortunately, it does take hitting rock bottom for people to change. It would be nice if we could change before we hit rock bottom, but unfortunately, we don't do it. We stay in that comfort zone. And in the last few weeks, my thoughts on, like, I'm constantly evolving my own thoughts, like taking away from just having other people's thoughts as my thoughts and actually understanding what I believe in. It's like people stay in the comfort because they are scared of giving it a try.
Hmm.
Because if you try, aim for that goal, don't fail, people are going to ridicule you. People are going to laugh at you. People are like, oh, why did you do that? It's like I was talking about last night. It's like you cannot have the chance of it all working out if you can't have the chance of it all just burning, crumbling. There needs to be the risk of it working, the risk of it not working. I think people say in the comfort because they are scared of the unknown, scared
Yeah.
of actually chasing what they want to chase because it's like it can fail. And like it's okay if it fails. Like I'm gonna go off topic a little bit here again. It's like
Go.
this is I gotta be careful how I say this. It's like if someone walks in on you jerking off and you stop, you're embarrassed. But if you keep jerking off long enough, eventually they're going to be like, well, like they're gonna feel uncomfortable about it. They're gonna feel like, oh, maybe am I in the wrong?
No, that's a really cool analogy. I like it. And the thing is, people don't start because yes, they might fail, but it's the judgment of people knowing you failed. You know, when you can get over the fact and live with the fact that you failed, but you try again, and your belief outweighs the fear of failing, that's the game changer. The amount of times I've got online, I've told people I'm going to do things and I do extra on top of it. And I'm like, watch me win. And I look like an idiot. It might not happen straight away, but when it does, I prove them all wrong again. You know, it's like, keep hating. I'll keep winning.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
No, tell me this. How, like, where did you find this level of confidence from? Because I believe, like, some people are like, oh, confidence, it's just a personality trait. I believe it's something that you build, like you grow on. Like,
it is.
How did you become so, just ooze so much confidence?
I broke myself down. So there's a story I want to share with you. One of my mentors told me there would be a day where I'll share this story to the world, because it was one of the biggest breakthroughs I had in his program. So he would give me non-negotiables. And because I had my family, I'd have to balance it around them. And I was working 2 jobs, doing doubles, like 16-hour days at work. And I'd come home, there was one night I had 10,000 steps to do and I was only at 3,000. And there was storming outside. There was thunder, there was lightning. And I had to walk the streets. So first and foremost, if you walk the street where we live, it's already scary. But with your headphones on, listening to music, not knowing what's around you or what's coming to attack you, that's a level. So that actually makes me feel alive. But anyway, I'm walking through the storm. Your subconscious makes you doubt. So the more times you can catch your subconscious and cut it off at the neck and say, no, not today, the more times you shut that down, you're consciously more aware of what you're capable of, and you have the control and you take the power back from your subconscious. So when I was walking, I had the doubt telling me it's storming, there's lightning. And then I had Robin on top of that calling me, telling me, babe, it's dangerous out there. Like, you've got a family here. I don't want you to get hurt. Get home now. I looked at my phone and I had like 1,000 steps left. I had everything in the world wanting me to quit. And at that moment, I looked up in the sky, I had rain in my eyes, and I just started crying because I thought of the vision. I remembered that I overdosed 8 times. And I saw myself in my head on a stage with a packed crowd telling people how much life should mean to them. And that I was lucky to be alive, to do the walk, to be in that storm, to be strong, to be powerful. And I was just like, thank you. Tears coming out of my eyes. I did an extra 3,000 steps that night. And I was unstoppable. And I felt gratitude for doing the work. It's moments like that that build you up. It's the belief in yourself. It's the importance of being alive. It's the importance of purpose. And it's got to mean so much to you that you die for it.
Why do you think people fail to be confident, to believe in themselves? Like, for you, it might seem so obvious, but for others, it's like, I can't do it. Like, help me.
I think they just focus too much on the negatives. Like there has to be a point where you either want to stay stuck or you want to rise. Like it's like what deep inside, what are you willing to do to rise? You know, you have to want to rise. The pain of rising has to be more hurtful than the pain of being stuck. And I think it's different for everyone. It's just becoming ready. You know, I can convince you all I want right now to get ready, but it's up to you.
I'll be honest, I'm confident self belief. It's something that I haven't always struggled with, but probably in the last 12 months I have struggled with. And it's like driving here today, I was 5 minutes out and I got this overwhelming fear of oh, like, what if I make a mistake? What if I stumble? What if I didn't feel worthy. Like I didn't have,
Mm,
I'm like, who am I? Like just to go here, talk to this person. I'm like, it's like that imposter syndrome, but it's like at the same time, it's like, I should have the imposter syndrome. It's
yeah.
like, I'm not good enough fundamentally. Like I've got so much to improve. It's like that there. And it's like the
Mm,
self belief. My self belief is probably the biggest killer for me. It's like I've lied to myself so many times, like
mm,
telling myself I'm going to do things, I'm going to make a change, I'm going to do this business, whatever it may be. And it's like time after time, I lie. I do it for a week, I stop. I do it for 2 weeks, I stop. I do it to everybody else around me. And it's like, and fair enough. Like, they're like, yeah, right, yeah, hey, and like, yeah, we'll see what your new idea is in 2 weeks and stuff like that. It's like, for me, like the self belief is like people that you keep constantly lying to yourself. So how are you going to believe what you say if you can't say what you mean?
mm.
And it's like trying to make that shift now. It's like if I say something, I've got to do it. Like I'm going to be the biggest podcast in the world, so I'm going
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. Well, you've already answered what the difference you need to make is. Keep your promises
It's
in everything you do. When you set your alarm, get up. When you say, all right, this is what I'm going to do for my morning routine. I'm going to do A, B, and C. Do A, B, and C. Even if it goes C, B, A, do all three of them. Get it done. Because the moment you start saying, "Oh, I'll put it off for an hour," or "I'll do it tomorrow," that's when you're not keeping your word to yourself. That's when you're not keeping your promise to yourself, and they add up. They make a big difference. So just simple things. If you can master the basics, you will master everything. I truly believe that.
Do you think people are afraid of what will actually happen if they commit?
I think they're not aware what will happen. I think they're afraid of what could go wrong at the start, and then they get involved and they're like, oh my goodness, this is so much better than I ever thought and ever imagined. Okay. But at that stage, you still don't understand that you're going to lose people, that you're going to outgrow every single thing, people, place, and thing that you have had as normal in your life. That when you grow, you're going to make other people question what they're doing and they're not going to like it. I think there's so many levels to growth, bro. It's hard to put into one frame of mind, a concept, hey.
Would you say that you trust yourself more now or just doubt yourself less
Like right now,
right now?
I trust myself more than ever, but I still doubt a lot. Um, because I risk everything. Like sometimes I don't know how I'm going to pay rent because I've invested everything. I don't know how I'm going to pay my daughter's school fees because I've invested everything on what my vision is, the coaching, the podcast, like anything to get the business further, I invest because I think, well, it's all going to pay off. But when you don't get results, when you want the results, it's like, what have I done? You know? Um, and you've got to lean on people. You've got to ask for help. And without like, you got to be like, and then you got to convince them. You're like, can you please lend me some money? Because in 3 weeks, I'm going to pay you back double. You know, it's like you just keep gambling. And eventually one day it might give. You don't know when it's going to be, but you have to believe.
It's
It's
like
crazy.
It's like, really, you haven't stopped having addictions. You've just changed what your addiction is.
100%. 100%.
It went from drinking,
Mm.
drugs, substances to now it's investing in yourself, building a business, building the
Yeah,
podcast.
no matter what.
I mean, in a weird way, like, what from those days of being addicted to substances have actually converted over into actually helping you be addicted with growing these businesses? Like, or do you think you're just born with that addictive nature in your mind that's like it's easy for you just to go all in on something, go crazy, stupid, all in?
I think it's definitely an addictive nature. It's a bit of both. I remember when I was a kid, I used to play footy in the backyard and for hours, perfecting the littlest things so that I could be the best on the field. But it was passion, it was love. Um, and I guess the addictive side on top of that was being addicted to what I love. So if you're addicted to something more than the other person, you're going to do better because you're going to do longer hours. You're going to perfect more things and you're just going to put more time and energy into whatever it is you're trying to accomplish or achieve. The addict will always win, bro. They're hungrier.
Talk to me more about rewiring the brain.
Rewiring the brain is like what we spoke about before is say you think you're ugly. Or here's a good example. It's like getting confidence is part of rewiring the brain. It's a belief system. So you start off small and say you're not good at talking to someone. There's levels to it. So I would suggest starting off if you're at Woolworths and you see someone with that looks nice, go up to them and compliment them. A lot of people wouldn't, but it's very easy to do if you're naturally confident. Like, so that would be a small step. And then from there, I would say, like, there's levels. You'd be like complimenting a stranger. Then there would be actually having a conversation and saying more than a compliment. And you just keep stepping it up and up and up. But also, like, rewiring the brain, mantras are beautiful. I have my own mantra, and it's like it's a declaration, and then you cement that declaration with the right words. So one of the strongest mantras in the world is I can, I will, watch me.
So what you say to yourself is very important.
Very important. Your self-talk will change your life. One of the best motivational people, not everyone will agree with this, but in his message, within the message, Wes Watson, bro, completely changed my life.
Yeah.
Completely changed my life because there was no room for doubt. There was no room for, like, his self-talk. Can I swear?
Of course you can.
His swear, like, I'm trying not to swear because I'm big in my faith now, but just for an example, his self-talk is brutal. If he gets an idea about making an excuse or a thought to, like, call it quits, he'll be like, don't be a bitch. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And that's why he is so successful, because he made himself unstoppable with his self-talk. And I highly recommend anyone in the world, if you want to challenge yourself to grow and be more powerful within yourself, watch Wes Watson. There's a lot of it's like silly, or like off topic. It's just doesn't. There's a message within.
You've
the
got to
message.
listen with intent.
Yeah.
So you just touched briefly on your faith.
Yeah.
Have you always walked that path of faith, or is that something that's recently come into your life?
So my mum grew up in a foster home. She didn't force it on me, but she opened my mind to it. So I always believed in God, but I didn't go to church. I didn't do any of that. But when I went to rehab, I'd realized that I was lucky to be alive. There was like this weird, like unexplained thing that happened in rehab that brought me to him. I went to church for the first time. This this saying got mentioned in a service, and it was like, don't look back. There's nothing good in the past. Leave it back there. And a week later, my mum rocked up and she's like, I've got you this new shirt. I didn't tell her about it because it meant nothing. And I looked at the shirt and it said, don't look back on it. And I was like, what the heck? Like, that's so weird. But the longer I got clean and sober, there was so many times I should have died. It wasn't just the 8 overdoses. I fell asleep at the wheel at least 10 times. I woke up to horns that are unexplained to this day because no one behind you can see you falling asleep at the wheel. I don't think. If I was following you, I wouldn't know if you were going to pass out. So I'm like, where did this horn come from to wake me up? You know what I mean? There's so many things, so many times I should be dead on top of the overdoses that only could be God.
I'm still just really caught up on the whole thing of it's like being a person, be able to be like, yeah, I should have died like 8 times. Like that's a crazy thing to say,
bro.
Like
8 times from one substance, but then you add up falling asleep at the wheel several times. One time I had a shotgun dropped on me, like yeah, and I laughed about it for years until I realized it could have blown anyone up in the room, including me. There was so many times it could have been done, could have been the end.
Like that brings me on to a crazy thought. It's like people often think like these extreme things that happen to you, like once it happens, that's going to be the switch that you need, that's going to change your life.
Yeah.
That's going to change your thing. It doesn't always work out like that. Like sometimes it takes time. Like a few years ago, I had a car accident, which quite frankly, it should have killed me.
Yeah.
So I was 100. I was on cruise control, back road highway sort of thing.
Yeah.
Fell asleep behind the wheel, fell off of a bridge, fell down, I don't know, maybe 10 meters or something, 100 kilometers an hour into a dry dam. It was like all the cement walls.
Yeah.
Nose dived into it.
Wow.
I don't know how long I was out for or anything, but I remember woke up, crawled up the side of the rocks onto the road.
Yeah.
And walked along the road for probably 100 meters, just watching blood drip out of me.
Wow.
Before I collapsed to the ground because like the adrenaline had worn off, and laying there on the ground, watching cars drive past me, no one stopping.
Yeah.
Probably 30 or 40 cars drove past me over the space of a couple of hours before someone actually like stopped. It's like we're in the middle of nowhere, middle of the country. There's this guy in a full-on suit laying on the ground bleeding and no one stopped. And that moment I lay there thinking like, holy hell, this is how I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this here's going to like change the trajectory of my life. But it didn't. Like, it's crazy. Like, that happens and I didn't change. But then it took me hearing a 30-second video a few weeks ago being like, it makes sense now. It's like, you're only going to change when you're actually ready to change.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
like I was just thinking here, it's just like, you've had all these things like that most people be like, okay, like after like you've really died 8 times, like that should be like the thing to switch on. It's like, no, it's like you're not, I guess it's like addiction. Like you won't help yourself until you're ready to help yourself.
And everyone gets ready in their own time. The hardest thing is to accept that, especially when you become ready, like, and you know how to get ready, you know how it's changed your life. All you want to do is make other people get ready and save them. And bro, the hardest thing for me in my journey, one of the hardest things is letting go of trying to save everyone. It's out of my control.
It's like we were talking about earlier on your episode. It was you've got to be a little bit selfish, I guess.
Yeah,
you've got to be willing to just go all in on yourself, risk losing everything in your life in order to try and get the life that you, quite frankly, you owe yourself.
Yeah,
as I said earlier, it's like you come into this world alone, you leave this world alone. What are like the biggest like philosophies that you go live your life like? What's like the quotes, or like when things feel hard, what do you tell yourself?
Nothing good comes easy. Nothing good comes easy. And if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. That's what I remind myself every day. Like what I'm chasing is so good. And see, what I'm creating is not just for me and my family. It's a legacy. It's more than just a vision. This vision is going to turn into a legacy, and that legacy will be remembered for years. I want to make an impact so big in this world that my kids hear about it at school, and their kids hear about it, and that this legacy, the businesses, everything gets passed down, and it just continues for years and years after I'm gone.
You're breaking that cycle of generational trauma.
Bro, it's hectic, but not just breaking one cycle, breaking majority, like all the cycles, because everyone's going to want to follow suit. This thing's going to be so powerful that everything else doesn't look attractive. You know what I mean?
Part of it's going to be also to like your dad and like the people that doubted you. It's sort of like a bit of like an FU sort of thing. It's like, you didn't believe in me. Like this here is like, you missed out on being a part of this. Like, this is who I am. This is who I can be. And it's like, I've done it.
Yeah.
You said I couldn't do it. You didn't believe in me.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Do you know what another thing is? I think there's parts of it, like I didn't believe, like they obviously, my dad told me in the one of the last times we spoke, he's proud of me for doing what he couldn't do. So for me, I didn't really need an apology. It's like deep down he knows, you know, and he probably lives with the guilt and stuff. Like, you know, I've accepted that. I've let a lot go. I have forgiveness now. Doesn't mean I forget, but I accept it, and I don't hold on to it anymore. But I think what gets me going the most is letting myself down for 17 years. And the biggest and strongest pain point I have is that I owe it to God. He woke me up 8 times. He probably made a horn sound in my head or something to wake me up when I was about to crash my car and drive off a cliff. Like, and I had to swerve back onto the road last second. It's like I was saved again and again and again. And when I ran out of chances, he saved me again. Like, bro, how am I supposed to say thank you for that?
You can't. Like, there's
exactly like, but that's what makes me so driven, is that his plan to keep me awake has to be accomplished. I don't know what the full extent of the plan is, but if I wake up with motivation every day, if I wake up to help people every day, if I wake up to teach people about what I've overcame and the breakthroughs I've had, that's about all I can control, but I'm going to do my best to do it.
It's quite crazy how you just worded what you worded, because I just had like a biblical story like come onto my mind, and I'm like, I'm trying to think, how can I talk about it? And you just said the exact thing I needed to like to say it. When you said like he woke me up, there's this video I saw. It was like this guy was talking. It's like about Lazarus and stuff. He was like, man, I was just like Lazarus. I was dead in the tomb. He's like, it'd been 4 days, 4 nights, and said like, no, he was dead and stuff. And Jesus stood at the entrance, was like, roll away the doors, like, wake up, come to me. It's he's always gonna be there for you.
Yeah. And do you want to know what's crazy? One time I was in a full fit for 45 minutes. I'd OD'd. I was fitting. I was making possessed noises, as people do when they're on their way out. And my mate was bashing me for 45 minutes, trying to snap me out of it and get me to come to. Now, when I woke up, okay, I didn't think, oh, I'm saved. I went straight inside and had more, and blacked out again. Bro, and it's like, how can you, he still forgave me. He still wanted me, you know? Bro, how do you say thank you to that? You just can't. Wake up every day and you go all in.
Well, like, it says so much, like that really says so much, obviously the power of God and stuff. And obviously like a lot about like what the addiction, like that, what it does to you, what those negative things do. Like the fact that you were nearly dead, you woke up and your first thought was to
have more.
Go have more. It's like sitting across from me, it's like, I can't even like imagine that version of you, because like every time I talk to you, it's like you got this infectious energy about you. Bro. It's like when I listen to your voice messages, it's like I can't help but smile. It's like, damn, this guy's just got so much energy. Like I just like it's like so much. I'm like, but it's awesome. It's like
Yeah.
it's crazy to see. It's probably a good reminder for people. Like, it doesn't matter like how shit it was, like what it was like, how bad. It's like you can completely change. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a big believer. Like we were talking about the other day, it's like in 12 months' time, like your life can change drastically. Like your life can
Hectic.
change so much in 365 days. You
Yeah.
don't even realize how much it can change.
Yeah.
Tell us this, like, where is Zach in 365 days?
Working full time as a coach. The business is booming with the podcast. We're having to turn sponsors away because the show's got so much traction. My coaching is high ticket. I see what I want to do in 12 months' time is be on a stage. I've already been told it will happen by people at my church. They've already told me. But the thing is, the enemy loves me. Tried to take me out 20 times.
Yeah.
You know, and the enemy hates me winning.
Yeah.
Hates that I'm doing well. So, bro, I still fight demons all the time. I just live with them now. And I've been told you will be on a stage. You are going to make an impact, but you have to be ready because the enemy is going to take you out. And like, yeah, my vision, I'll be on the Goldie. My family will be doing well. I might have a baby on the way, or, you know, who knows about that. It's God's plan. But, bro, I want to be living my dream. I want to be successful and not just wealthy. I want to be comfortable wealthy, but I want to have a house, you know, the car, be a good man. I want to be a good husband if we're married by then. I want to be a good dad, because success is not money. Success is who you are as a person. I want to be respected. I want to be loved. And I want to also give that to people in return.
So it's safe to say you've got the roadmap planned.
Yeah.
You know where you're going. I find it interesting talking to people like you that have that roadmap like fully planned out, like have the exacts. Because I find I'm still trying to figure it out. And like I was driving the other day, and it was like I really overanalyze sort of like the content that I put out, like the long form, like how I sound, how I start. Like I know I do it. Like it's just the reality. I have to suck in order to get better.
Yeah.
Like my short form content I put out, me talking, I don't listen to them.
Yeah.
I record it, put the captions, do it. I just can't stand listening to myself. I don't want to hear the mistakes. It's like I was thinking about the podcast. I'm like, every single podcast I do, it's the first half is always a little bit shaky. I'm making more mistakes. It just takes that little bit of time. I guess that sort of self-confidence, self-belief for me to flow into the conversation. Like the second half is always the best half. But then I'm like, well, hold on a second. I'm like, that means like the journey I'm currently on. It's like this first bit, it's gonna be a little bit hard. It's gonna suck a little bit. I'm gonna make some mistakes, but like I know statistically in my life, it's like the second part of it, like once I can break through that first little bit, get comfortable in what I'm doing, it's gonna be the best thing to ever happen. So now it's like I am running towards the failures, I'm like, where can I fail next? Like, where can I slip up on my words? Where can I make that mistake? Because it's like, they say it's like, what if I was to tell you you are only 20 mistakes away, or 20 mistakes, however you want to put it, away from like $1 million, or like getting the life that you wanted. It's like people fear those mistakes. It's like listening to you, it's like, you've got there's such confidence. Like thing is like, this is how it's going to go. Like boom, boom, boom. And it's like, I think you probably underlook it because you're just like, this is how I am. But like most people, they don't know what they're going to be doing today. Like they've got nothing figured out. Like since I've started surrounding myself around people that like are really switched on, it's like it's made me feel really shit. And like so it should, because it's like, okay, like wow, this is how it really is. Like this is what the high
This is levels.
this is the level to it. I'm gonna keep peeling back the layers of the onion, and we'll get there.
Yeah. So you know how you're talking about your studying yourself,
Yeah.
one thing that I do is I'll watch something back and I'll study it, I'll analyze it, because that's the easiest way to learn.
Mm.
So that is actually preparing for the next episode. So I'd suggest like watching a show back, and analyzing everything, because you can pick your imperfections and you're like, all right, next time I'm going to do that. Or you know in your heart, you're like, oh, I got really, anxious when I studied. And you'll be like, why did I get anxious? And you just start nitpicking everything until you understand where it stems from, why it happened. And then differently, you're like, well, next time I don't even need to be anxious,
100%.
It's like that is preparing for the next stage. It's studying what just happened with content anyway. Yeah, I had a very good mentor. He taught me a lot, Rudy. And yeah, like he said to me from day dot, he's like, podcast is going to be your thing, bro. But I'm like, I'll be way bigger than a podcast, because you got to want to win. Like, I'll tell you one key thing I teach people is, some people don't agree with this, but in the most humble way, I look at people, even my coaches, and I'm like, I'm going to overtake you so quickly. I'm going to go so much further than you. But humbly.
You know what? I love how you said that.
Humbly, bro.
Humbly?
You keep it to yourself, but that has to be your attitude. That has to be your mindset. You know that you're going to go so much further. And you like, when I get coached, I learn off them and I do what they say, but I make tweaks. And I'm like, what? When I get my breakthrough, I'm like, well, I had to do this that they didn't tell me. I said, so I learned something that they didn't teach me, And then when I have my own clients, I actually fill them in more than they need to know. I'm like, because I didn't get that. Like I had great coaches, but sometimes they didn't tell me enough. They expected me to figure it out on my own, where I tell my people too much so that they're more prepared. You know what I mean?
No, I like that. I'm very much the same. I look at the people, and again, humbly.
Yeah.
You look at the people that you look up to, like the mentors and stuff, and you're like, I respectfully, I see you're better than me now, but like, I want to be better than like what you are. I want to be that next level. I mean, like,
you want to do it in half the time too.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, why?
Yeah.
That's crazy you said that, because it's a big thing. It's like I've been trying to get myself around this idea of like, I can get so much done in the next like 12 months. Like my life can be drastically different. I can have everything I ever wanted to. And like, I've talked to some people, like other big podcasters, and they're like, oh yeah, bro, I'm like 180 episodes in. I've got a few thousand followers. I'm only just now starting to try and get sponsors and trying to. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Love your content. Like, obviously, you are so many levels better than me in like the aspects I want to be. But I'm like, respectfully, I'm like,
you should be so much further, eh?
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's taken you 3 years. All right, what can I get done in 6 months? And worst case, if you don't get it, you would have got a whole lot more done than if you just sort of stuck on the thing. And so it's like, for me, it's like, okay, you've done 180 episodes in that amount of time. All right, let me try and get that amount of episodes done in a third of the time.
Yeah.
Let me try and just speed up the process, because it's like, you see so many people online, it's like, why them? Why not you? Like, why not me? Like, it can be you. It's just like the difference is just taking action. It's just doing so much.
It's doing more.
It's putting out so much effort, doing so much work that it becomes undeniable that you are going to succeed.
Yeah. I think it's like, if you did A and B to get where you are now, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. I'm going to add on extras and extras on top of extras, and I'm going to work harder than you worked. And that is why I'm going to do what you've done in half the amount of time. That's my mindset. And I'll go all in until I'm broken and crying in my car before I come inside. And I'll just suffer, but I'll believe that suffering is going to get me my accomplishments in half the time that they did.
100%. It's like, when you're trying to do these things so quickly, because it's like, life's all about speed. It's like when a
Yeah.
plane takes off, it doesn't slow down. It can't slow down. It
Yeah.
will crash. It's like you need to keep on just going. It's like the analogy, if you're in a fight and like you're winning the fight, you're never tired. The second you get punched a few times and you're losing, you're suddenly super exhausted. It's like if you just keep doing enough work, keep moving forward enough for like speed and just aggression, you will get there. Like you don't need to know exactly what you're doing. Like
Yeah. You'll
it's
learn
probably
along
it's
the
probably
way.
better you don't know what the like how it's going to end up, because maybe if you know how it's going to end up, you're going to do less. It's like just doing stuff, just not knowing,
Yeah.
it's going to work out so much better. And it's like you're going to do stuff that you never thought you would do. And like
Yeah.
that's the big thing I've done. Like people in my life, like, oh, why are you doing this all of a sudden? It's like, well, I didn't do that the entirety of my life. I'm here.
Mm.
I'm pretty positive I've got to do things I've never done in order to get things that I've never had.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to just put yourself out there and just keep doing
Well,
things, keep
100%.
expanding.
Let's share how I actually got on this show. So I put up an ad for my coaching, and the only reply I got back, legit, was you asking me to come on here. And I said to Robin, like my fiance, I'm like, babe, I put an ad up for coaching, and I got an opportunity for a podcast. And like you said, putting yourself out there. You don't know I don't know what this show's going to lead to. Someone could see this show and be like, I want him for this.
Yeah,
You know
100%.
what I mean? And it could be way better than the one coaching client. Like you've just got to go all in. You've got to put yourself out there, not knowing why.
Everything happens for a
Yeah.
reason. It's like, putting yourself out there. It's like you don't know what opportunity is just gonna pop itself up. I was listening to someone talk about, I can't remember who it was, but like they had a business and stuff, and they were just posting content. And then before they know, just from putting out this random content that only a few hundred people saw, this one person saw it and like landed to a massive job where they made millions and millions of dollars. It's less like if you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to know. What is like a habit or a daily standard that you implement and do that's a non-negotiable?
I have about 13.
Run us through your day. Run us through it.
So wake up, shower, mantra, breakfast, gym, Bible. That's like 4. That's a non-negotiable. Walking, steps. Sometimes I sacrifice that for business, but it would be checking in with clients. It would be messaging other people to see how I can help them, because you never know what it's going to lead to. And then it would be getting in successful people's DMs.
Yep.
Because if one of them does give you their time and sees how genuine you are, that you just want to learn, you don't know what it's going to lead to. And then there would be family time. There would be my mantra at night. There would be studying. Because if I'm not learning, I'm not growing. And then I've got less to share. Like I'd be stuck on the level I'm on. So I'm always trying to expand and grow. And then there's like, because I've got 3 businesses, I'm always checking my emails to see if I've got a modeling gig, see if people will need to be coached, or try and get them to the idea that they do need it. And then there's the podcast, guests, sponsorships, the whole lot. And then on top of that, because they're only getting billed, I have to work.
Yeah.
So I could be spending 14 hours, like 8 to 14 hours a day doing disability. And I've got to do what I just said on top of that. It's pretty crazy.
It's like, when you become your own boss and stuff like that, or like on the pursuit of it, like you're going to work so much more than like any full-time job.
Yeah.
There's just always so much to it. I mean, in the space of like confidence, mindset, self-belief and stuff, like what bits of content or like advice that gets put out on the internet that you just utterly disagree with?
I would disagree with, one thing that bugs me is how people go viral without doing anything inspirational. You know, it's like, why?
I feel like a lot of it's, we get a little bit jealous. It's like,
we do.
I'm putting out stuff that I think is so much better, but this person's just danced for 5 seconds and now they've just got 1 million likes, probably a $10,000 a month brand deal in their DMs. It's like,
And people that preach a certain thing when you get to a level in the online space, you know who is who, like through people or just by seeing through the surface level shit, that you know who they are deep down. And that's the whole point of my show, is like whatever you hide in the dark will be revealed. So when people get traction for preaching nonsense, I'm just like, it bugs me, bro. You know how the last question, you're like, what bugs you online?
Yeah.
Like, call people out. First of all, there's two things to this. I consume everything is uplifting, it's positive. And if I don't like it, I don't watch it.
Yeah.
But if I don't like it, I don't hold on to it. Because when you're on a level, if you start resenting people, you lower the level you're on. You become the standard they're at because you've got the same energy as them. You've got negativity, you've got hatred, you've got resentment. So the most powerful thing you can do when you reach a certain level is see it for what it is, have no expectations on it changing or trying to change it or trying to justify why it's shit. It's like it has no effect on you. And when it has no effect on you, it has no power on you or, control over you. And when you can let it go and move forward, that means you're on a level, because you don't have energy. Like, you can't waste your time and energy on it. It's a distraction.
It's funny. So, have you heard the story of the two monks and the woman?
You may have said this on a show or to me in person.
I don't know if I've said this or not, but it's.
I don't know.
No, I don't think I have. My
Okay,
friend said
hit
this
me.
to me, and it was. So in this story, like the monks, they can't talk to women, can't touch them, can't have relationships, super in their faith. And they get to this river crossing, and there's a young monk and a older one. And there's like this woman there. She's like, oh, I can't get across. I can't get wet. And the older one goes over, picks her up, carries her across the river, puts her down. They carry on. And like a few hours later, like you can tell it's been really bugging this young one's like, why would you do that? Like, that's not part of our thing. That's not part of our religion. Like, you can't do that. You can't talk to them. You definitely can't touch them. And he's like, only one of us is still holding on to that woman. You're still holding on to this woman all these hours later. I held on to her, get her across the river. It was done. You've been carrying the weight of that woman ever since that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
So move back into the thing.
Yeah.
What piece of advice would you give to, so let's say younger version of you, if you could go back, talk to someone that was in the same situation as 14, 15-year-old you, what would you say?
You're worthy. You're meant for more. Go all in. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. And I'd whack him over the head. Because one thing I didn't have was a role model.
Yeah.
I didn't have a mentor to go, pull your head in. Like, bro, you've got more potential. I think if I had someone that was a bit harder on me with the belief that they had in me, pushing the belief of the potential I had in myself with myself, like if they made me not use it lightly, if they made me know that I have a gift and they said, don't waste it. Like if you really want to be successful, if you really want to be famous or whatever it is, you have to start now, and make me understand. Like I just had no one to look up to. All my role models became my customers when I started moving shit. That was my role models. I had no respect for them apart from if I got in trouble, I know that they could help me not get beaten up. That's all. They weren't good at, someone that can't respect themselves can never respect you. So even subconsciously, I didn't have respect for them because they didn't respect themselves. It was like everything I was looking up to was for the wrong reasons.
You are walking in the dark with no light.
Yeah. It was hectic, bro.
Do you think that kid, like, if you were to like go back in time, like, hey, this is where we're gonna be when we're 30, you reckon you'd believe it?
I'd like to say yes, but probably no.
No.
Like back then, I was barely holding on. When I was 13, I became man of the house. I didn't like school. I didn't like anything. My footy career was getting better, but I was still using, so it was going to ultimately fail. But back then, I didn't even know how we were gonna, if we were gonna have a roof over our heads in 2 months, like having a single mum that could barely afford to live.
That must really
Like
mess with a young man's head.
I dreamt about having a family and being successful and famous. But when dad left, or even before that, because of the resentment towards him, I lost all my aspirations. I cared more about numbing everything, you know? I didn't care.
So it's like, in a way, at 13, you died.
Yeah.
Like, part of you died,
Literally,
and then
bro.
you had to
Yeah.
you had to
It's-
resurrect that version of you.
100%. Reborn, rebuilt.
I mean, if we look into psychology, it probably explains so much why it's so big on, like, you want to be a good role model, you want to create a legacy, you want to do the things for, like, to make sure no other young kid feels that way ever again.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and that's what that story about me walking in the storm is, that nearly like going through the pain and suffering I did is a blessing, because it gives me so much more drive to do the hard stuff, which in return is going to help so many people. Like, it's more than just me. What I'm doing is more than my family in the house I'm building. This is going to help strangers all over the world. And that's got to mean something. Like, that's worth sacrificing.
100%. I
Yeah.
mean, so many people, everyone goes through pain, but it's like what you decide to do with that pain can dictate. So
Yeah.
many people just will let that pain just consume them. They will live in it. But like other people like yourself, you use that to motivate you.
I do now.
You do now. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure looking back probably in 10 years' time, you'll look back at like how you are now and you'll be like, you'll be at another level where you're like, okay, I can say I was still dealing with stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
we're constantly evolving, constantly sort of like learning who we are as
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And like I coined the phrase, I like to hope I've coined the phrase, like I'm sure someone said it, but I said it on an old podcast. It was sad story syndrome. So many people get caught up telling. People really want their life to sound as miserable as it can.
Yeah.
So it gives them more
Justification,
justification for things not to work out, because my life is so bad, my life was so terrible. And it's like people feel bad for you because you want people to feel bad for you, because it's like, okay, that's why I can't do that, or that's why I couldn't start this business. And I'm guilty of it. Like I went through a hard time, I'm like, oh, I might do this or do that. It's like you want people to be like, oh, it's okay. Like poor you. And it's like, I don't know why we live in that. Frankly, like nothing positive is going to come from it. All that you're going to do is just, if you're doing that at 18, before you know it, you'll be 25. You're still trying to get that poor you from people. But then you've realized people have moved on. People have lives.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're stuck there 25 and like, I've just sat here for 7 years feeling sorry for myself. Like nothing good comes from feeling sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. Bad shit happens to you. Bad shit happens to everybody. Use that, create something good. Stop living in the past.
100%, bro. It's that victim mentality, eh? It's more comfortable to stay in it. Yeah, I actually used my addiction story to get on my first like 8 shows, which was great to start off. But I got to the point, even making Truth or Die, I was like, babe, I don't want to interview people about their story. It's so boring. like, because I don't know, everyone should already know who you are. And with a quick introduction, it's easy to go over it. Obviously, it's not going to be deep. You're not going to hear the whole story. But even in meetings I go to, when people start sharing about their story and their 20 years clean, I'm like, what are you doing now? Like, what are you doing now? What are your goals? What are you doing in the future? Like, bro, I'm sick of hearing it.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
you know what I mean?
It's like
Oh.
you are so much more than the bad shit that's happened to you.
Yeah. It's like I want to hear like your knowledge.
Mm,
I don't want to hear the same story 20 times. Like we get it,
mm,
But what about now? Like what are you struggling with now?
100%.
Like who cares about the past? It's like it's depression.
Yeah.
What's
You can't go
now?
back to the past or try not live in it too much. It's like live in the now,
Yeah.
live in the present. Obviously, the past is used to obviously show people that like two things. It's like one, hey, this is how you're in the same situation I was in.
Yeah.
I got through it. Like this is hope. Like
Yeah.
it's probably for you as much. It's like because you probably talk about it so much, you're probably like, oh, I'm sort of like over it. Like it sort of gets a bit old, but like you never know. Like there might be someone that hasn't heard anything about it before, and they're for the first time, they're like I overdosed like all these times. Like I've
Yeah.
been through this exact same shit because like I understand it's like yeah, you don't want to keep talking about what has happened. You want to talk about what is coming forward, but it's like
It's good to bring it up, especially if someone just jumped online today
yeah,
and they didn't know anything about me and they're like, oh, he's a coach. But they didn't know that I should be dead. You know what I mean? And that I actually have self-lived experience. They're going to think I'm someone by the book
yeah. Like
and just fake.
people don't always want to be there in their wins. They want to be there in your losses. I feel like,
Yeah.
especially content these days, I'm a big believer. It's shifting. It's shifting away from the meaningless 5-second dances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's moving to more like value based people
It
actually
is.
being real because
Yep.
people want it to feel relatable, want it to be real. So it's like people listening to hear your story. Like I know there are probably hundreds of thousands of people just in Australia that are battling different addictions, and it's
Yeah.
like you coming on here. It's like, apologies, guys, you would have just seen TV static. One of the cameras cut out. Sort of lost our thought of train, but we're just pretty much at the end. So I'd like to ask you sort of the final question.
Mhm.
If every piece of content in the self-help, self-belief, confidence genre was deleted from the face of the internet and we only had what you say in the next 60 seconds, what would you say?
What does life mean to you? You have to be willing to die for what you love, for what you appreciate, for what you value, for what your purpose is, what your vision is, your family, friends, the people in your circle. What are you willing to do to help it? What are you willing to do to achieve your goals? Like, you have to want it more than every single thing in the world, as if you're taking your last breath. You know that feeling when you get your last breath and you're being held underwater and you come up gasping for air and you want to live so badly, you want to breathe so badly. That is how bad you got to want it. Thank you, ET. But yeah, that you've got to want to die for it. You have to be willing to die for it. That's my advice, bro. Do it as if your life depends on it.
Awesome. Well, guys, that there is the Great Human Reconnect. Zach, once again, thanks for having
Thank
us.
you, bro.
Appreciate it.
Big love.
Guys at home, until next time, catch you later.